Hello everybody, Keith here again. I just want to do a very quick video and show you my new acquisition from the Welsh Orchid Festival. I couldn't really take any photos or video when I was in there. I know some other people managed to, but the times we were there it was absolutely heaving. It was great to see. It was really good to be able to chat to fellow enthusiasts and to see lots of unusual orchids on offer. I haven't got a lot of space left. I need to clear some of my bigger plants out of the way and make some more room. So I did try to keep the size down and try and pick things up that I hoped I could do something with. But I did pick up one or two, well, one in particular, plant that is a bit outside anything I've done before. And that is this one. This is Gomasa radicans. I got this from Spiceotic Plants. They had two and this was the bigger one. Paid £18 for it. It's got some new growths. It's got active roots. Rather than try and bring it home for about 6 hours in the car, even in the boot, without any water except from yesterday, I got some tap water, put it in a glass last night, left it overnight, and then just before we left there I tipped it over the moss, and quite a few of the exposed roots greened up, so clearly I've got quite a few working roots. It's on this sort of little plain cork slab. I don't know, I know some of these plants get very funny about the surface that they're on. I would have thought that a slightly rougher surface would be more natural and might give them more of a surface to grip on. So what I'm thinking of doing is going to one of my local pet shops and getting some cork and mounting it on a small piece of cork bark, because I think that might be better. But nevertheless, that's a cracking little thing with tiny little flowers. We've got about 4 new pseudo bulbs on here, so I think we've got quite a nice little plant for the money, and it's a warm grower, so it'll do very nicely in the conservatory. My Masdevallia Patricia Hill has done extremely well for me. So there were a number of very nice looking no ID hybrid Masdevallias on offer, but they were quite big. Some of them were really big. There were nice ones that you could buy, some species ones. Somebody had got Ignia, I think it was, and I realised how big a plant that was, and that really wasn't what I was looking for. So I ummed and ahed for quite a while, and in the end I chose this one, which is, again, I got it from Spiceotic Plants. This cost me £15, and I think it's very much worth the money, and that's Masdevallia naidifica red. It's got quite a lot of new growths. There's lots of new roots, some of which are up in the air. There's definitely new growths on here, and the flower is quite delightful. So I've spoken to Mike Hardy of Mixed Masdevallias, and he thinks, without obviously seeing it in the flesh, that this, as I thought, is a nice, well-grown plant with a lot of potential. So another one that's really an experiment, pushing my own comfort zone a little bit. Now the other two came from Burnham's. This is, stand back a bit, this is Doritis pulcherrima. Very pretty Phalaenopsis-like plant, it's very closely allied to Phalaenopsis, of course, Doritis. Small flowers, quite a small plant, not as small as some of mine, but around the same size of a number of my smaller Phalaenopsis types, so I'm guessing that they've got Doritis in their ancestry somewhere. There's two plants in the pot, so for £20, I think this is fine. This is the Alba form. We've got say two plants in there. There's roots growing, there's leaves growing. We've got some nice looking stuff there. We've got lots of roots down in the pot. I don't know how well you can see those. Lots of roots, all nice and green. It's been in this pot clearly for a little while. It's not something that Burnham's have just dumped in there. So I had a chat with Arthur and yeah, pretty much treat it like a normal windowsill Phalaenopsis type, and it should do reasonably well. So that's Doritis pulcherrima with the Alba form. The last one is one that I suspect might well be one that's going to push my comfort zone. I've got two hybrid Zygopetalum types. One is supposedly a straight Zygopetalum, the other one is a Zygonicea, and they both grow quite nicely on an upstairs windowsill for me. This is a species, this is Zygopetalum cranitum, and it's one that Burnham's, according to Arthur, will have grown from seed, and he said he reckons it's probably 4 years old. We've got two new growths, one there and one round the back, and he was saying given the size of the pseudo-bulbs it's already got and the fact we've now got two growths, there's a very good chance that this is going to flower on these new growths, and if it doesn't, it'll categorically flower on the ones after that. So we'll have to see how we're going. Now this is in their seedling mix. That surprised me a bit. I don't keep mine in anything this moisture retentive, and I said, is this what you keep the big ones in? And he said no. He said we keep these in the seedling mix until they really get to a flowering size. Once they get to a flowering size, they go into a medium bark, and they'll do fine in that. But as it stands, they do better in this, which was a little bit of a surprise to me. I knew they liked moisture, but mine seemed to do okay in bark. And I just wondered whether they'd do any better in this stuff. But no, he said leave it another year. It's doing well at the moment. Don't jump before you've got to. We've got roots that are nice and green, lots of good roots down there. You can feel how solid the pot is. It's slightly distorted from all of this lot. Doesn't get any taller than this apparently, it's quite a small one. It will get quite wide, it's not particularly a climber, it just spread out sideways. So hopefully this is something that's going to flower before long. Species, Zygopetalum cranitum. Now then, just a very quick one before we go. not long ago I was asking about this, which is my Cycnoches. I think it's one of that family, Catasetum type orchid, and I was asking about white dots and whether they might be a flower spike. Well, I'm guessing you're going to be able to see that clearly enough. We've actually got a definite nubbing. Sorry, I'm looking across at my iPad, which I'm using as a viewfinder. Yeah, you can see it there. It's definitely grown that, and it's almost growing every day, so I'm looking forward to that. None of the other white spots have actually shown any bumps yet, but that's that Cycnoches or whatever it is. So a couple of questions to leave you with for the comments. One is about that flat cork bark. Has anybody got any experience of using that stuff, or do you think as I suspect, I'd be better off putting it onto a more rough surface? And the other thing is this is in smallish coconut husk, very moisture retentive, which obviously suits these things, which like to be wet when they're growing. I had never bought that before. What does anybody recommend as a brand, remembering I'm in the UK? So, thank you for watching. I hope you found that interesting, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.